All right, party people. Scott Rizzuto here, Tim McKernan. You ready for this?
Let's do this. I can't wait to hear. You're fired up about this today, so I'm excited to hear what you got.
Well, we're going to talk about a pop culture icon.
Okay, what do we got? What do we got?
Well, I mean, what kind of music you into?
It's a boring answer because everybody says it, and now I feel like it's like I can see both points or both sides of the aisle. It becomes cliche, but I really feel like if we pulled up my phone, you'd be like, oh, you really are into everything. I was the guy.
Me as well.
Okay.
I honestly am into classic rock, alternative. I like some of the newer stuff. I'll listen to some rap music. I'll maybe every once in a while dip my toe into country.
I have more recently, took my 6-year-old to a Zach Bryan show a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Is that bold?
Yeah. Did he enjoy it?
Yeah, he did.
Well,
actually.
there you go.
He can't wait to go to another one.
There you go.
So I'm taking him to Green Day in a couple months.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get him introduced to the music scene.
I took my kids to Pearl Jam.
How'd they like it? I bet they loved it.
My son, who's 15, loved it.
Sure.
My daughter fell asleep.
No way.
18,000 people at the Enterprise Center. One person sleeping.
What's your daughter?
It was my daughter sleeping at a Pearl Jam show. Anyway, Elvis Aaron Presley.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
The king.
Yes.
This dude, and how famous was Elvis? This guy was so famous. He's one of the only people on earth who could be referenced by just one name. Elvis.
Yeah.
When I say Elvis, everybody knows who I'm talking about. Elvis fan?
I got to be honest with the audience here. Not really.
But you are familiar with his works.
Am I familiar with him? Yes. Would I consider myself a fan? No.
Okay, but if a song comes on, if an Elvis song comes on, okay.
You're going to recognize the voice.
You're going to recognize
absolutely, and I'll recognize the song.
Right. So according to Rolling Stone and their readers poll, the top 10 Elvis songs. Let's just go through this real quick.
What do we got?
Let's go through this real quick. So number 10, top Elvis songs. A song called Mystery Train, released in 1956. Number 9, a song called Kentucky Rain, released in 1969. Then you got number 8, An American Trilogy, released in 1972. Maybe you're not familiar with these songs.
Yeah.
But these are, according to Rolling Stone and their readers poll, the best.
Are you familiar with them?
The best Elvis songs. I know of them. If I'm putting on Elvis, I'm not putting on these songs, but maybe I will now.
Okay.
Number 7, Heartbreak Hotel. You know that song.
Yeah, of course. Now we're hitting the mainstream for guys like me.
This is the song that introduced Elvis to America. You heard it on the radio back in 1956. Heartbreak Hotel. Number 6, another song you're familiar with, Love Me Tender. Another one from 56. So 1956, a pretty good year for Elvis.
Big year for Elvis.
Number 5, Can't Help But Falling in Love, released in 1961. If you were lucky enough to see Elvis in concert, you knew that when you heard the opening notes to Can't Help Falling in Love, it was time to get ready to go. This was always the closer. Elvis closed with this song, was written for the movie Blue Hawaii. Because remember, Elvis was a music man, he was an actor.
Film star.
Sure. Number 4. Now, when I say actor, I mean he was in movies.
Sure. He wasn't winning Best Picture. He hasn't been compared to Daniel Day-Lewis as of yet.
Number 4, Jailhouse Rock. Familiar with that song? Back from 1957. Number 3, top Elvis songs of all time, according to Rolling Stone magazine. In the Ghetto, released in 1969. It's a song about the vicious cycle of poverty and despair in America's inner cities. Of course it is.
What else would it be? Of course.
Number 2, a song called If I Can Dream, recorded just 2 months after Martin Luther King was killed in 1968. And the number 1 Elvis Presley song of all time, according to Rolling Stone and their readers poll. Any guess?
Hound Dog?
No. A song called Suspicious Minds. Which that is, dude. That's the jam.
Yeah, that is the jam.
That's the jam.
And I'm really upset. And I hope they edit out my Hound Dog guess. I can only
Hound Dog's a great song.
I'm just surprised because I'm like, oh, that's one I know and I haven't heard yet in your ranking. So I'm like, well, that's got to be it. And then I hear Suspicious Minds.
Suspicious Minds, dude.
I exposed myself as a hideous mark. That's what I just
Recorded
did.
in 1968, 2 years into his marriage with Priscilla.
Yeah.
And
so he was thinking she was sleeping around?
It was all starting to fall apart. The marriage was starting to fall apart. His life was starting to fall apart. So Suspicious Minds is the number one, according to Rolling Stone and their readers poll, the number one Elvis Presley song of all time.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, Elvis born January 8th, 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi to Vernon and Gladys Love Presley. He died on August 16th, 1977. Or did he? Or did he, Tim? And that's what today's episode of Stupiracy is all about. We will explore the enduring conspiracy that Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, is still alive. Today's episode, Elvis Lives. All right, Tim, you've heard about this whole Elvis is alive thing, right?
Yeah, but I don't know the basis for it.
Well, let's start with the official account of Elvis Presley's death. So on August 16th, 1977, Elvis found unresponsive on the floor of his bathroom at Graceland Mansion in Memphis, Tennessee. Rushed to Baptist Memorial Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Now, the cause of death was initially reported as a heart attack, with further medical reports citing a combination of health issues made worse by prescription drug use. Dude was in bad shape. I mean, through toxicology reports, medical examiners found that he actually had traces of 14 different drugs in his system. 14.
14.
10 of which were present in what they call significant quantities. His blood, Elvis's blood, when he died, was found to have extremely high levels of opiates like Dilaudid, Percodan, Demerol, codeine, as well as Quaaludes. All this stuff was coursing through his body. How old was Elvis when he died?
42.
42. Look at you with the math.
Yeah.
42. Now, if you see pictures of Elvis towards the end of his life.
That's what I was thinking when you gave his birth date of 1935 and passing away in 77. I'm thinking to myself,
he was only 42.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, it looked like it was rough, especially considering it didn't look rough when he was like in the 50s and 60s,
right.
You know?
Yeah, there was skinny Elvis and there was fat Elvis.
That's right, yes.
Like skinny Elvis, very handsome, the panty melter.
That's right, absolutely.
Fat Elvis was sweaty fat Elvis. And you're like, ooh, man, this guy, what is he, in his 50s? At least 60s?
Yeah.
No, he was only 42 when he died.
42, man, that's hitting right now.
Yeah. Wow. So he had high blood pressure, he had high cholesterol, he had a condition called megacolon. Megacolon.
What is megacolon? Outside of what it sounds like it might be.
So his large intestine becomes distended and toxins flood the body. Like that's megacolon in a nutshell. He also had at least 4 near-death overdoses that left him unconscious and need of resuscitation. And his heart was double the normal size.
Oh my goodness.
And Elvis never smoked, but yet he still suffered from emphysema.
Oh, man. The king going through it.
He went through it.
The king going through it.
And a lot of this was, just drug use.
Yeah.
And eating like garbage and not taking care of himself. And, and emphysema, despite not smoking. And despite the official narrative, from the moment of Elvis's death, there were rumors and suspicions that Elvis had not truly died. So let's get into a couple of the factors that make people go, Okay, we'll start with, we've got some inconsistencies surrounding his death and funeral. One of the most frequently mentioned pieces of evidence is the misspelling of Elvis's middle name on his tombstone.
That's right, okay.
So officially, his middle name, Aaron, is spelled A-A-R-O-N. However, the tombstone reads A-R-O-N, which some people argue is a deliberate error, and it's not really Elvis who's buried at Graceland.
I don't know if this makes me a mark yet again, but I understand that. I mean, how do you, we got a height chart for my son, and the name was misspelled, and we sent it back. if you're going to be buried and you're Elvis Presley, you get the new tombstone. That's where I am on this. Now, maybe you have an explanation.
Well, did somebody not proofread before the tombstone left the engraving factory?
Yeah. I mean, how do we botch that? And then if you do get it and you're the family, you're going, oh, say we could use a new tombstone right quick.
Right. I mean, listen, one of the biggest stars on earth, you'd figure the tombstone would be spelled correctly, but it was not.
Okay. So far, I'm buying what you're selling.
So tombstone reads A-R-O-N. It should be A-A-R-O-N. Okay. So is Elvis really buried there? Mm-hmm. Also, the weight of Elvis's coffin has been the subject of speculation. The casket reportedly weighed around 900 pounds, significantly heavier than a typical casket.
900 pounds?
Yes. Some have suggested that it weighed 900 pounds because it contained an air conditioning unit to preserve a wax dummy rather than Elvis's real body.
Wow.
So if they did dig him up, it would be a wax dummy in there that was kept kind of fresh by a air conditioning unit.
My goodness. Never heard this one.
That one makes me go, okay. That one makes me
with the
two
little portable
on the
air conditioning units in 77?
I don't know if they ran an extension cord.
Oh, yeah, probably an extension cord.
I don't know.
That makes sense. You can see the cord going under.
I don't know.
Under the misspelled tombstone.
All right, so that was the right when he died stuff. Okay. Let's take a break right here. When we come back, we'll talk about the numerous Elvis sightings after he supposedly died. Elvis apparently was everywhere. Elvis is alive on Stupiracy. All right, welcome back to Stupiracy. Tim, I forgot to put Elvis is alive on our bulletin board.
Yes, indeed. Elvis is alive.
It wasn't official. Now it's official.
Over the Erfurt latrine disaster. Elvis is alive on Stupiracy. So we've got a misspelled tombstone.
We talked about the tombstone.
And we've got an air conditioning in the casket and an extension cord running out from under it.
Okay, yeah. Now let's talk about the numerous sightings of Elvis over the years. One of the earliest and most famous claims was that Elvis was seen at the Memphis International Airport the day after his death, buying a one-way ticket to Buenos Aires.
Okay.
So, and that whole thing was like, oh, one-way ticket to Argentina. Elvis has gone into hiding. And we'll get into maybe why he would go into hiding.
So a person spotted Elvis Presley at the gate heading to Buenos Aires.
Yes, buying a ticket.
Buying a ticket.
One way to Buenos Aires.
Okay.
In the late 1980s, multiple reports, and I say multiple, more than one.
Right.
More than one report emerged of Elvis being seen, of all places, in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Kalamazoo.
Home of Derek Jeter. That's right.
Is there
Derek Jeter's hometown? I don't know if there's any connection there.
I was wondering. I felt like I might be, but I had an obligation to ask. Are you saying that
multiple reports of Elvis being seen in Kalamazoo, Michigan, in the late '80s?
Okay.
Witnesses claimed that a man looking like an older Elvis was spotted at a local hamburger joint ordering something.
Okay.
What hamburger joint would Elvis be spotted at?
Okay. I feel like if it were McDonald's, you would just say McDonald's. And then Burger King because King?
There it is. Elvis was spotted at the Kalamazoo, Michigan Burger King ordering a Whopper.
Stands to reason.
Multiple reports.
Multiple reports. So there were people in the line and say, hey, I know he died 12 years ago, but look, Elvis would like himself a Whopper.
The king, of course, goes to Burger King. Come on.
Yeah, stands to reason.
Where else would he go? He's not a Fuddruckers guy.
No.
I don't even know if there was Fuddruckers in Kalamazoo in the 80s.
No, missed opportunity for the good people at Fuddruckers.
But Elvis, of course, the king of rock and roll, would be at the Burger King.
Yes.
And, of course, ordering a Whopper.
And there are, again, multiple accounts. Just like there was only one account at the Memphis airport for the purchase of the Buenos Aires.
Why are there no pictures? Because we didn't have
Didn't have
cell phones.
That's right. So it was a miss. Anybody talk to the king? Just said, "Oh
Just
no,
left him
he's
alone.
Gonna,
I think-
you respect it."
I think the people were in shock.
Right.
Oh, is that Elvis at my Kalamazoo, Michigan Burger King ordering a Whopper? Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it'd be 4,000 cell phones out.
Yeah. Look.
There'd be probably a Facebook posting about it.
Yeah. Hey, look, here's me with a selfie with Elvis.
With Elvis. In California, many people believed that, again, that they had seen Elvis at California's Legoland.
Legoland.
Yeah, shortly after it opened in 1999.
So he's a groundhog, but he pops out every decade. Mm-hmm. All right. This time he's in California at Legoland.
So he was at
So he's
the airport.
64 at the Legoland.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is,
Hey, you know what? It's not just for kids.
no, it's not. Everybody loves Legos.
Absolutely.
You been to Legoland?
I haven't.
I have not either.
But I have children who love Legos, and I have a feeling it's on the itinerary.
I'm sure your kids would love to go.
Yes, and maybe run into Elvis.
I don't know if he's still there, but okay, so we got the Buenos Aires airport, we got the Kalamazoo, Michigan Burger King ordering a Whopper, and now we got Elvis at Legoland in California.
Yes.
Now, these sightings obviously kept the conspiracy theory that Elvis is alive. Did Elvis assume a new identity and go into live in obscurity? Maybe he did. But why? Why would Elvis want to go into hiding? I think we should discuss this after the break. We'll discuss it after the break. Why would Elvis Presley, the most famous man, one of the most famous people on earth, one of the most famous entertainers on earth, why would Elvis want to go into hiding? And we'll discuss it next on Stupiracy. All right, so we're back. It's Stupiracy. Elvis is alive. Why would Elvis fake his death?
What's the motive for Elvis to fake his death in 77? What's the motive to go to Burger King in Kalamazoo in 89? And then, of course, Legoland in 99?
Some theories suggest it was for pretty serious reasons. Now, one popular theory says that Elvis worked as an undercover agent for the FBI. Yeah, some people say that Elvis faked his death to escape the mafia. Yeah, and this idea is based on Elvis's well-documented interest in law enforcement. He collected police badges. He actually met with President Nixon back in 1970 and offered his assistance in the fight against drug abuse of all things. There's a very famous picture of Elvis with Nixon.
That's right.
Elvis, I think, has got a cape on. Look,
Capes were all the rage.
He could pull, of all the people that could pull off a cape.
Nah. He's
Elvis
the guy.
could.
Yeah. Bring back the cape.
I think he may have even given the president at the time a gun.
Was that right?
Yeah, but he had offered his assistance to President Nixon with the whole fight against drug abuse. Ironic, as a guy who had 14 different types of drugs in his system when he passed away.
Allegedly.
Yeah. In 1988, there was a book put out called "Is Elvis Alive?" And the author claims to have uncovered FBI documents that show that Elvis went into witness protection. Now, the author also says she's got audio recordings of Elvis talking about his new life in hiding, although most people have said that the recordings are complete BS.
Okay. All right. I'm still buying in.
Another perspective suggests that Elvis faked his death to escape pressures of fame. Fame's a bitch, isn't it?
Sure. That one I can buy in a little bit.
So by 1977, Elvis was not only, a global superstar. He also, he was a deeply troubled man struggling with health issues and some serious substance abuse. Mm-hmm. So to escape it all, that's it. I'm faking my death.
And I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
Okay.
Now, some people think he might have wanted to retreat from the public eye and live a normal, peaceful life away from the relentless demands of his career. Financial troubles also played a role in the story. It's reported that Elvis was facing significant financial difficulties towards the end of his life. Faking his death could have been a way to escape debt and the obligations tied to his immense fame.
All right. You're presenting a case here. You're presenting a case.
Okay, so now we're recording this in the St. Louis area. I don't know if you've heard of this man before. I'm gonna bring it to Missouri here for a second. Yeah. A significant figure in the Elvis is Alive movement is a man named Bill Beanie. Bill operated the Elvis is Alive Museum in Wright City, Missouri.
Yep. I recall driving past it to and from the University of Missouri.
Really?
Yes.
So you know of this place?
I know of the place, yes.
So it's the Elvis is Alive Museum in Wright City, Missouri. Not far, half hour up the road?
Yeah.
Not far from where we're recording this episode. Bill Beanie claimed to have DNA evidence proving that Elvis did not die in 1977. However, his methods and the credibility of the evidence have been widely questioned by experts and critics. Just so you know, the museum opened in 1990 and closed in 2007. So it had a good
17-year run.
Had a good 17-year run.
Sure, absolutely. I would have taken the under on that. So nice job, Bill.
I feel like somebody who moved to the area in 2003, I really missed out on. I wish.
Yeah. You could have taken the kids. The Pearl Jam show wasn't good.
I would have gone right after here.
Would you like to go to the Elvis is Alive Museum in Wright City?
Yeah. So the conspiracy theory that Elvis is still alive remains one of the most, I would say, persistent and intriguing theories in all of pop culture. So we've got the inconsistencies surrounding his death. We've got numerous reported sightings, the mythic status Elvis achieved during his lifetime, and the idea that Elvis might have faked his death to escape fame and financial trouble or even threats from the mafia. That all adds to the allure of the theory. Whether motivated by a desire to preserve his legend or uncover the truth, or people just enjoying the mystery of it, the fascination with Elvis's possible survival shows no sign of fading.
Still going, because now the man is approaching 90.
Yeah, and just so you know, if Elvis were alive today, he would be 89 years old.
Oh boy, I'm having a big math show. Now, have you ever heard about other famous musicians who are still alive? I don't want to give away the one that I think about. And
Tupac.
That's what I was going. Yes. What do you think?
If Elvis is alive,
they're hanging out together?
And that's what I've always heard. It's Elvis and Tupac hanging out in Buenos Aires.
They're in Buenos Aires.
They're certainly not in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
At the Burger King.
No.
Right.
But that's today's episode. Elvis is alive.